Hello, everybody. It's Trent Suing again. I would like to say I hope you're having a great day. I'm feeling good. I'm actually feeling energized. I've I'm actually already starting to feel the positive and the negative. And I assure you, down the road, I'll prove to you how I will take every ounce of negative in the world to prove the positive. But important thing to point out here is that it's important that you watch all of these videos in a row in order to understand my story. You won't even understand how to listen to my story if you don't go in the exact order that they're posted. Like this is the third video I'm posting. So simply, please, out of love for yourself, please take the time and truly listen. What I would like to address now is, like I said, what I feel is the point that needs the most urgency. It's the people in the world that are depressed, suicidal. And I would like to use, if you will, my consciousness, that I'm awake, my consciousness. In other words, I'm no longer in my physical self. And I refer to in my story as my physical self is my illusion, where all of the things in my entire life up until the point where I woke up are an illusion to me. Because I know with my consciousness that every single thing in my entire life experience before I woke up, before I gained consciousness, was not real. And why do I feel it's not real? Is because I know from my consciousness that I'm awake that every single memory in my life, every single experience in my life was viewed from a negative perspective. Yeah, that's pretty messed up. Anyway, I don't want to make this about me. And I want to remind everybody that, hey, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not anything other than I am who I am. That spoke to somebody right there. Hey, and when I say that my strength is growing, that I feel the power, I feel energized, I feel the good, the positive, yes, I do. I'm feeling stronger and stronger every second of the day. And it's all coming from the negative energy and the positive energy. As crazy as that sounds. But trust me, you will see how me being awake and using my illusion, all of my life experience, that we literally can solve all the problems in the world. That's heavy. And you know what? I welcome any negativity because I'll turn it around into the positive. And anybody positive that's already starting to hear what I'm saying, keep listening to that. In your heart, when you've felt something or you've gotten a chill, keep feeding into that. Keep listening to that because that's your only truth. And I can't make you feel that way unless I'm talking to you out of pure love, unconditional, undeserving love, the only real love. That was funny. Hang on a second. Boy. Anyways, the purpose of the time here is one, for legal purposes. I know that all of my defense of what I'm going to say or what I'm going to do is in the evidence. That's a very bold statement. That's a very risky statement, especially having the last name of Suing. But the purpose of this is this kind of gives a way of showing the world whether or not my videos have been falsely represented, whether or not I've made lies. Because to alter, let's think of the simple fact of the negative. You know, if somebody's going to alter under negative intentions, well, it's going to make it a lot harder when you have the really only one time. It's a universal time. That, yeah, obviously, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, something fun. Down the road, I will explain to you how my illusion proved to me that time doesn't exist. Yeah, you're probably really thinking some negative thoughts now. But like I said, I will take all the negativity of the world, turn it to the positive to solve all the problems of the world. And you will too, if you simply can just love yourself enough to listen. So, yeah, unfortunately, the Velcro tape wasn't a good idea. So I guess I'll sit here and hold this. Because one thing I believe is everything happens exactly how it's meant to be. And the only reality is right now. So, hey, positive might be that, hey, this might connect with someone, this right here. Or it might make somebody think I'm even weirder. So, more negativity might come at me. But I will turn that around and I'll make it a positive. Anyway, back to reaching out to anybody that has had any form of suicidal thought, depression, especially if you are about ready to cease to exist. Because I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to tell you that I know exactly how you feel. Because honestly, I know from my consciousness that I'm awake. I know there's no way in this world I could possibly know what you're thinking. For one fact, everything I viewed in my entire life up to the point I woke up didn't exist. Now, don't think that I'm trying to tell you that all your thoughts or all your feelings aren't validated, because by no means. Oh, I totally understand. Because where you are right now, how you feel right now, is incredibly real to you. But I will explain to you how I got myself out of wanting to, in my life, in my existence. Not just once. Oh, quite a few times. Yeah, one of them actually wasn't that long ago. I had those thoughts. But don't think this is bad. I'm going to show you it's good. And if anybody, you know, tries to tell you that this is depressive even listening to, remind yourself, I am just simply how telling you to love yourself enough to listen will solve all the problems of the world. So, Suicide. Oh, that hurts. And one thing I want to show right off the bat is that negative can become a positive. And how my illusion recognized, wait a minute, everything negative is bad. Everything negative is the exact opposite of how it should be. If anybody's looking from a negative perspective, they're not actually seeing the truth. The only one truth is the positive. And the only way you're ever truly going to know the positive is when you give yourself unconditional, undeserving love. So, remember, I've said this before and I'll say it again. If at any point you find yourself not hearing what I'm saying, not feeling it, stop, back up, start the videos over. I guarantee you, you will get it. And if you don't, find somebody that you think super positive. They'll get you right past that. I know this is going to work. I knew it was going to work from day one. Now, very serious matters. And imagine how it is for me to share this. And by no means is this narcissistic. Shoot. And by no means me saying that I'm feeling energized is narcissistic. Because the truth of the matter is, oh, I feel all the positive energy. I feel it all coming on. But before I take and record these videos, I'm pacing around back and forth in my house. I've actually vomited in the trash can because of my physical self, my illusion. I still hear it. Trust me. Oh, and I hear my spiritual self too, which happens to be what speaks majority of the time now. Now, let's be realistic and let's acknowledge the negative. Okay, hey, what I just said, I basically hear two voices in my head. Now, I guarantee you there's people out there in the world that know good and well that if you were to go to a psychologist and they asked you if you heard any voices in your head, or even better, oh, and I've been at this one before, for, in my illusion, an incredibly negative reason, but hopefully I have the energy to someday share that with you. You're going to find some humor in that one. But first off, when it comes to mental health, let's stop and recognize for everybody who is hurting right now, the simple fact of how hard it is to get in to see a psychologist when somebody truly needs it, when somebody's ready to cease to exist. If they don't already have a pattern developed, they've never realized that they had mental issue up to that point. How hard is it? It's really hard. And this is why I'm putting so much energy into this right now, is because I want to help. My illusion tells me that psychology is all based off of statistics. Whew. Whew. Okay, first off, no wonder so many people are depressed. No wonder so many people are suicidal. No wonder so many people feel nobody else understands. Well, all those are validated. My illusion, absolutely, I can perfectly feel exactly that. Wow, that is rough. So now, think what I just said. That's a bold statement. But sooner or later, I'll end up showing how even that negative is a positive. Okay, so let's see. Suicide. From my illusion, from my life experience, the first time I had those thoughts, I think I was about 12 years old. Yeah, 12 years old. And none of what I'm saying do I want any sympathy whatsoever, because I'm awake. I know every single thing in the world, in the existence, because of my consciousness being awake. I know it's good. And if you listen, you will too. But without getting into too much negativity, when I was 12 years old, at that point in my life, I felt, and actually I felt this my entire life, clear up until I woke up, I felt as if I was an amoeba. And people out there have heard me say this many a times. I was an amoeba somehow floating around in the universe, and I just happened to land on Earth. Because I've always felt like nobody loves just how I love. Nobody cares the way I care. Nobody doesn't see anything how I see it. All my life, going along until, hey, even at like 37, I hit the point of I cannot keep living my life trying to please everybody else, or I will implode. I'll go insane. That'll make sense. But at 12, I felt nobody loved me. I felt, honestly, that I must have been adopted, to the point to where when my parents were gone, I would go through the house and I would look through everything. I would look to see if I could find any adoption papers. I wanted validation. I wanted to know that something in the world had a positive to let me know what my purpose was. Hey, I love my parents with every ounce of my being. I love them unconditionally, undeservingly, because I love myself the same way. My mom's already passed, and we'll end up talking about her. My dad, honestly, I've always felt he is the best human being I have ever met in my entire life. But I also realized too, he truly never gave me unconditional deserving love. And I get it. And I love him even more for that. But down the road, you'll start understanding. But at 12 years old, I uh, I would lay in my bedroom. I'd have the lights out. I would have my old Walkman. There were two songs. The only two songs in all of my childhood that I could ever find actual comfort with. And down the road, I'm sure it'll make perfect sense too. Everything makes perfect sense to me now. Being awake, every single thing I think of from my illusion instantly makes sense. And it is all positive. Yeah. And every single thing I'm saying is for a very specific reason. It's all because I want to be able to give you grace. unconditional love and deserving love. So, 12 years old, the songs I would listen to was Rock Me Amadeus by Falco. And can't even remember the name because my illusion only remembers really the negative. And you will see, so does yours. Was called like I Wear My Sunglasses at Night. Let's stop and think about that for a second. Let's look at the positive. I was getting comfort at that time. Acknowledge the negative. Shit, I was thinking about suicide. But now let's also think about the good of what I'm saying right now. Simply pointing out the positive. Okay, I was wearing or not even wearing, just in my illusion. Had my eyes closed. The lights were out in the room. Lowered all the negative vibrations. Listening to a song that mentally, in my illusion, I pictured myself where nobody could see me. Because in my life, I truly had felt nobody had ever really seen me. So as my eyes are closed and I'm staring off, it feels lighter. It feels better. And you know, the truth is, I was totally centering myself. You've heard that before, I'm sure, or being present. In all actuality, I was healing myself. And I didn't even realize it. In my illusion, I thought I was in an extremely negative place. But I wasn't. And I see it now that I'm awake, I'm conscious. So I could keep going on and tell you how, when it moved on through my life, still carrying around all the negativity, the reason why I joined the Marine Corps. I joined with a buddy program with a friend that I felt was the one person in this world that understood me more than anybody else because he was hurting. He was hurting bad. He felt the same way. He had an alcoholic parent that was abusive to him all the time. He was intelligent. I mean, I thought this man was smarter than me. And we joined the Marine Corps Guaranteed Infantry on Buddy program because the pact that we had together is if nobody loved us in this world, then at least we wanted to do something that gave our soul some honor, some worthiness. We wanted to die for everybody in the country. We wanted all our pain to at least end to help everybody else so that they didn't have to feel the pain. Being awake, I look back, I'm like, ooh, very negative, but how incredibly positive. That's actually some of the most positive statement in the world. Him and I were willing to cease to exist simply so out of love, really, love we didn't know for ourselves, but love for everybody, willing to cease to exist so others didn't feel the pain. Okay, the pain, let's for a moment, whether you're religious or not, let's call pain a sin. Think about that. That sounds like another really big story from my illusion. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's false. I'm not for religion or against religion. None of them. Because I'm awake. Because I totally understand. And if you simply love yourself enough to listen, you will too. Back to anybody that's suicidal. My, yeah, I've had to feel suicide. And those of you that unfortunately haven't listened up to this point, you're going to be thinking negative right now, because you're going to be thinking that I keep mentioning suicide, that I'm feeding into it. No, I'm not. In all actuality, I love every single person in existence. A deeper love than even you know. But let's think about suicide for a second. Everybody in this world that thinks they're sane. And you know what? If you don't agree with what I'm saying, you're even closer to being awake. But suicide, the negative, let's look at that from the illusion. Every single human being at one point or another has thought of suicide, whether they've heard somebody else doing it or somebody thinking about it, and or whatever. It's a very serious matter, and if you love yourself, you know it is. But your illusion, chances are, is going to say all the negative, and that's okay. I'm not blaming you. I understand, and you will too eventually. But anybody out there that is deeper in their illusion, when they think about suicide, they're going to think horrible things like, that's the most selfish thing one could do. Or suicide, they just push all their problems on everybody else. I've had those thoughts in my illusion. Now, let's truly think with our heart. How negative what that way of thinking does. All the negativity. Your illusion tells you that it's true. Well, yeah, okay. Take for 1 second and realize I've said your illusion in the long run will be proven not true. But let's still go ahead and recognize that. Here we have somebody that is willing to cease to exist because they're hurting so bad because of their brain, their life experience, their illusion. They're ready to give up. Okay, even if your illusion tells you it's not your problem. Ooh, but it is. Because in one way or another, we're all to blame that this person is feeling this way. Wow, they dump all their issues on everybody else. Wow, that is a huge negative, and that makes it all about you. When someone's hurting, you instantly made their pain all about you. Wow, that's scary. Ooh, let your brain chew on that one. That goes even deeper. Well, the truth of the matter is, the majority of any thought you've had about suicide, once you're awake, you will see those backwards. Now, anybody out there that's listening that's depressed or suicide, please just feel in your heart, I love you. And please love yourself enough to continue to listen, because we will permanently get rid of the negative energy of suicide, the negative energy of depression. Just love yourself enough to listen. Hey, think of this like a treasure hunt, like a jigsaw puzzle. And nothing else, even if you think I'm crazy, even if you think I'm making this a joke, because I assure you I'm not, just keep listening. Just one more moment, because hey, stop and think. If you are contemplating the negative I have talked about, has there been one single thing that you felt in your heart, or maybe felt a little chill in your skin? Because I assure you, that is the absolute most beautiful thing in the entire world you will ever get to know, to feel. You just have to hang on, and you just have to listen, and it will get better. I know it will. You know, I'm wagering everything. And those of you that are thinking negatively right now, hey, keep listening. Please do. If you think I'm crazy, you think I'm boring, you think I'm insane, you think I'm ugly, all the negativity you could possibly have, hey, I welcome it, because I will use it and turn it into a positive and show you how that even is good, because all things in the world are good. Everything is exactly how it's meant to be. Just love yourself enough to listen. Hey, and I know if you are listening to this because you're depressed or suicidal, I know it might feel like I didn't put much effort into it. Just realize I am giving you every ounce of energy I can. I'm recharging as quickly as I can to get to you. Just hold on. We will. Keep listening. Even if the next subject I move on to isn't feeling like it's directly related to you, I guarantee you it is. I guarantee every single thing I will be saying from this point forward, sooner or later, will relate to at least every single person on earth. Huge statement. Sounds like I'm in crazy. Yeah, shit, I even stutter at times. Now, and if I am crazy, I welcome any psychologist, any mental health person whatsoever to simply just listen. But I caution you, any negativity you think or try to prove I'm wrong or I'm crazy or whatever won't won't work out. Initially it won't feel like it was the best for you, but it will be. But it'll ultimately just prove what I've been saying from day one. But I'm running out of energy now. My mouth is dry. Um, Anybody who is suicidal or depressed, I love you. Hang on. It'll get better. And people with depression, yeah, that fog, that weight, that darkness that is draining you, taking away all your energy, and then all that negative energy that everybody's thinking about you because they don't understand, because they're not in your illusion, they're not in your brain, they're not awake. All that negative energy ends up pushing you even further down. It feels like quicksand. I understand. No, I don't know everything. I only know the one truth. That one truth is the positive, and the only possible way I can know the absolute one truth is that of pure, unconditional, undeserving love. And it all starts with myself. That's a huge one. Oh, and we'll go deeper into love. I guarantee you at some point, if you love yourself enough to keep listening, I will challenge pretty much every single thing you can think of simply by talking from my heart. And how do I know that I'm right? Well, because I'm conscious, I'm awake. I still recognize my illusion, but I know the truth. And the truth is all good. It's all positive. But yeah, in closing, let's point out a little humor here. You now have heard me admit that I hear two, not one, but two voices in my head. That really starts from the illusion making me sound crazy. But now realize, if you're listening, what I have said is, I still have my brain, my illusion, all of my life experience. And this is, I'm all pulling off it from my memory. And I've admitted already, I know everything in my memory was looked at from a negative perspective first. Two voices, my brain. The second voice is my inner spiritual self, my true one self. But you know what? I don't think I'm a superhero or anything to have some great gift. I know we're all one. You've heard that before? Or at least my illusion tells me you have. This is going to get fun. This is going to change your entire life. And it is going to change every single person's life just simply by listening to my story. The next part of my story that I will get into using my illusion, my memory, and also my consciousness being awake, I want to talk to the people who don't have a lot of time left. The people that have actually given you some of the most love in your life that your illusion will think. These are the people that are about ready to pass from old age. Realize how many of them are by themselves, feeling like nobody cares about them again. I guarantee you they're feeling like a child again. Like all their memories are playing back. They're actually starting to see the positive. Because the older you get, the more you start waking up, the more consciousness you have. But the rest of us, we keep moving further and further away from these people. One way or another, I guarantee I'm right. But to all the elderly people in the world that feel like you're by yourself, that you're going to leave this world by yourself and nobody will even remember you, I assure you, that is not true. Hey, and I love you. Hang in there just long enough to hear the rest of my story, and it will all make sense to you. And realize I've already up to this point stated before that I will have completed my story by May 19th of 2023. By then, I will have proven, or at least in my reality, my consciousness, that every single thing I have said up to this point is true. And I will literally solve every single problem in the world with you simply by loving yourself enough to listen. Heavy. Man, those wind chimes sound amazing. Hey, and a little gift from my consciousness and my illusion. Whatever music or sound or whatever it is that gives you comfort, that calms you down, starts to give you peace. First off, go towards it. Really. I mean, hey, think about it. Everything in existence is vibrations. Sound is some of the strongest vibrations. So yes, I totally get how it does calm you, how it gives you a sense of peace. Everything's vibrations, of course. I'm also down the road going to show you how amazing that in itself is. But if you're depressed, if you're suicidal, if you're old, limit the amount of negative vibrations you've had. You know, think about it. Your illusion tells you, probably at some point you heard, you are what your friends are. You'll and understand how that'll end up even making more sense. The more awake you become. But I'm out of energy, or I'm probably even starting to sound stupid now. Realize before each one of these recordings, I have such a huge rush of energy. Like I said, to the point where I've even had to vomit in the trash can before. Because I get in a meditative state where every single thing, my conscious brain and my illusion are now communicating back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I am going through my entire existence, every single memory I have, and finding the positive, the strength, all out of because I love myself, which requires me to love you. And we're going to do this. Hey. I hope the rest of your day is absolutely amazing. And if I am too weird by now, remember what I said at the point you had your first negative thought. Back up. Re-listen to the videos until you get past that, or talk to the most positive person you know around you so that they can help you get past this. Do not allow yourself to think negative thoughts. This is all about solving every single problem in the world. Every one. And if you think I think I'm a superhero or a magician, genie, whatever, I welcome all the negative thoughts. I assure you that's not true. It's all going to work out. Hey, I love you guys. And until the next video, you take care and spread the love.